Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shintaro Higashi Show, Peter Yu. Big shout out to Levon, who's one of our sponsors. Thank you so much, as always. And everybody who sponsored the show, thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys are the reason why we can keep doing this. And
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also today's episode was a suggestion from our good friend Drew. And it seems like he wanted to take a very you know, scholarly take on things. And he
Mm.
was wondering if we have any opinions on how judo can improve strategic thinking capabilities.
Ooh, that's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Strategical thinking. I mean,
yeah.
like all things, like if you're a dummy, you're just always going to be a dummy. You know what I mean? But you can take an intellectual approach. It's the
Right.
difference between reading Romeo and Juliet and be like, yeah, this poor girl and this poor guy got together, their families hated each other, now they're in love, and then they died. That's
Uh-huh.
one approach to that, right? You hear the story,
Yeah,
that's essentially the gist of it.
yeah.
Or you can take a deep dive into it and like really read it and analyze it and do this and do
Right.
that. So, as all things, as sport,
Yeah.
you could take that approach and then it can enhance your
Mhm.
strategical thinking abilities, right? And then what they call like higher order thinking, critical
Yeah.
thinking skills and things like that. When you're looking into judo, right?
Right.
As opposed to just taking what's been taught to you and just repeating it and doing it and just
Mhm.
hoping for the best, right? You're using it and try to attach it or make connections with other information that you've accumulated in the past, right? You're
Mhm.
trying to synthesize this information into something new in your own method. It's
Yeah.
equivalent to someone reading a book and then writing a book report.
Right.
When you do that repeatedly, right, you're able to take that information inwards and then output it, right? You could create your
Yeah.
own spin on it. You could come up with ideas about it. You're coming up with original ideas, and
Right,
some
right.
people can do that,
Yeah.
and some
I think it's
people
also it's like
cannot.
a way there are different ways to enjoy judo, and then I guess,
Many different
approaching it
ways.
this way is a way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I know guys who can recall every second of their match,
Mm.
you know, and there's not too many of them, right? But there's
Yeah.
guys who are very, very mindful who you could actually say, like, hey, that time we did Rondori, right?
Mm.
Minute 3 minutes and 20 second in approximately, right? It was
Mm.
like our fifth or sixth exchange. You went here, I went there. We were stuck in 50-50, whatever the hell it is. I went for Georgian. Did you see that it was coming? Did you time that
Yeah,
society on
yeah.
purpose? Or like, and people can do that. Like,
I
it's like a
see I
chess master, you
Yeah,
know?
I see that in a lot of other professional players. Like I've seen an interview with a very famous Spanish goalkeeper, and then he could
Mm.
remember every single match that he's
Yes.
played and then what he did. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And then
Yeah.
doing judo, playing soccer, will it develop that ability naturally? No. He probably has some sort of
Yeah.
predilection towards being able to do that, whether it's
Yeah.
good memory or he's just a mindful person or
Right.
he's very introspective. Some people come to the
Yeah.
dojo, work out, use it as a workout, use it to socialize, go home and never think about it, right?
Yeah.
Until they're like, all right, it's Wednesday, I'm going to go in and work out. That guy is not taking that same approach as that guy I was talking about. There's a guy
Yeah.
in jiu-jitsu also that I know, is Kid Chaz. He's unbelievable
Mm.
with this stuff. He's like,
Mm.
I went for the reverse Delakiva and then I tried to push and I tried the kiss of the dragon and I came out the back door and I was trying
Kiss
to
of the trick.
yeah, there's all
Yeah.
these funny
Yeah.
names in jujitsu, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I went for this and you turned inward instead of outward. So I decided to do this instead,
Oh, wow.
And this
Yeah,
guy can
yeah.
just recall almost every second of like the
Mhm.
5 to 10 rolls that he did that day.
Mm.
And that person can go back and then troubleshoot and think about it and say, all right, what could I have done differently? It's the equivalent of somebody who plays chess, right? In chess, you
Yeah.
notate, you know? If you're
You're
a
supposed to write
hobbyist,
down every move that you do,
yes,
right? In a competition. Yeah.
exactly. Right. Knight F3 or pawn
Yeah.
E4 to E5 or something like this. And then once you're capable of having that language, right? And then there's certain patterns that are just sort of
Mhm.
natural. No one's going to push their pawns up from the side in the beginning. No one's going to make these silly moves. There's moves that most people will make logically, right? So now it becomes easier to recall. If it's
Mm.
random movements on the chess board, like random movements
Yeah.
that no one will make, this outside pawn, I push it up three
Yeah, yeah.
times and then move the knight here, 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 here. I don't think even the best chess masters will be able to recall this because it's just
Right, right.
nonsensical. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So by doing judo and by developing, the understanding and the basic
Mm.
movement and the basic lines of defense and attacks that most people do,
Yeah.
right? It can help you develop this kind of a thinking if you take that approach, if you train yourself to have that approach, you know? Like if I
Because
said to you, yeah,
it's like you're taking a little bit of because you're so used to all these patterns, you're essentially taking shortcuts to recognizing these patterns. Yeah.
yes, yes. So if I said to you, hey,
Yeah.
right first left, you're left,
Uh,
I'm right. You
yeah.
go lefty ponce nagi and you go Osoto. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't work, you go back to that drop left. You have three weak
Yeah.
side attacks that chain together really well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know
I
exactly
know
what I'm
what I was
talking
gonna say.
about,
Yeah.
right? And you could visualize it and see it in your head. You know what I
Right.
mean? But that's
Yeah.
not specific to judo.
Yeah.
Like wrestling too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like inside tie, collar tie, go for a throw by, foot sweep the leg that comes across, you know? Like you could see that, visualize that. You know, you kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
So can help you develop these kinds of strategical thinking like abilities. You know, if you take
Mm-hmm.
that approach, if you train yourself to be mindful, introspective, thinking about the matches, trying to remember it. It's like when you have a dream at night, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
you have a dream journal on the side of your bed. I don't do this, but like some people do,
Yeah.
you know, and
I've heard about that. And you can
yeah,
remember your dreams better, apparently.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're training yourself to do
Yeah.
that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then you could sort of lucid dream. I remember Eugene was really into like lucid dreaming.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I read about that too. It's like you
Yeah.
can walk around and do anything you want or something.
Anything
Yeah.
on your dream, like living
Yeah.
inside your own head, right? But it's like you
Yeah.
could, there's some people who claim you could
Yeah.
train that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sleeping every day is not going to help you be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
You got to take that special approach.
Right.
But I will tell you, man, to be able to be strategic under a certain type of pressure when someone's trying to slam you, I think that's a
Yeah.
very specific thing to judo.
Mm.
Because jujitsu, you get swept, you get armbarred, you get tapped.
Yeah.
Risks are much less. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But judo, the risks are a lot higher. If you make a mistake, you're snoozing, and the guy clubs you in the face and throws you a sotogari, you could get injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're much
So
more attentive, I think, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
to
and
be
you
more
have to make
focused.
these
Yeah.
decisions very, very quick, very,
Yeah.
very fast. Is this guy going for a soto? Is he trying to chop my knee in half? How can I
Mhm.
defend it? Is he faking that and going to the side? All those things have to be decided upon, and you have to
Mhm.
make action on it in like a fraction of a second. So
Yeah.
is that unique to judo? I think so. You know, but then is there something similar like that in boxing and such? Yes. But then, you know, you say like, oh, boxers are really intelligent because they have to, it's a sweet science of whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but what's the IQ of the average boxer?
I think that
You know what I mean? Like a boxer that actually boxes and spars, I'm saying, and competes in boxing. I'm not talking about the guy that
yeah.
goes to a 7 a.m. freaking thing and shadow boxes and hits the bag, goes to
Right.
their finance job, never spars and tells everyone that they're a boxer. That guy's not a
Yeah.
boxer.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
So I think that
Huge
kinda
difference. I cannot stress that.
yeah.
I hear these guys like,
It's like doing what you call it and calling yourself a judoka, I guess, you know.
I mean, you are different. Different.
Different.
Yeah.
I think one thing it kind of expand on that is that yes, judo can help with this type of strategic thinking and all, and then you can also be you can optimize yourself to develop these skills better with judo, but that doesn't mean that just because you have good strategic thinking capabilities in terms of judo doesn't mean you those capabilities naturally translate to other areas. I think like it
Not
doesn't make
always.
you a good
Yeah.
chess player or a good business exec. Maybe some things could help, but you still have to practice
Yeah.
strategic
And,
thinking in those areas too.
and
Yeah,
then just being in it, overcoming
yeah,
these hurdles and day in and day out. You know, good judo grapplers or wrestlers or jiu-jitsu guys, they train every day, you know? They
yeah,
train Monday through Friday, 2-hour practices, 10 hours a week at least, right?
yeah,
Compared to like if you're doing judo once or twice a week at 1 hour a pop, 2 hours, 3 hours a week, you're never going to catch up to those guys.
no,
You know,
no,
so like having ability to learn and like being in it, like really trying to learn and get good at something will help you because you know what it takes to be very, very
yeah.
proficient and good. You know,
I think that's more what I got out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people who like
Yeah.
take journals after judo practice or remember everything. I'm one of those guys that you described. Like I drop in, get a good workout,
Yeah.
hang out, and then leave.
Yeah.
But I do know that because I have prepared for competitions before, I kind of know what it takes to get to a certain level. So I guess in that way, that kind of mentality helps in other areas in my life,
for
just
sure.
to like give perspectives on things. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like when you go to training, you're good enough and great enough to know, like, all right, these are the things that I got caught with. Why did I get caught with those things? You know,
Yeah.
and you could Harun weighs, has 90 pounds on me, But outside of that, like there's technical stuff that you could kind of
Yeah.
recall and
Yeah.
understand. And now if you want to not make those mistakes again, you know how to drill them, you know how to do them, you know how to overcome them. Whether you have the time to do it or not is another thing, you
Yeah.
know? And if you
Yeah.
can string together practices relatively close to each other, where, even you don't have to be fully recovered either. You could be mentally there, do a much lower intensity workout, to use that as a recovery workout, but still be engaged, right? Like
Mhm.
there's lots of continuity and frequency between the trainings. You don't have to like remember everything and be meticulous and be organized. You just kind of have a feel for it, right? Oh, I've seen this
Yeah.
before. I felt this before. Oh, on Monday I did this and
Yeah.
it kind of didn't feel right. So I'm going to try to break through. As opposed to if you're going once a week, you're kind of just doing your best shit all the time.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
not really building, right? You got to put yourself in bad positions in order to be able to put yourself in bad positions and like dissociate your ego completely. You kind of got to go every day.
Mhm.
Because if you're going every day and then there's guys you just pound it on all the time, when you have a bad day and they're beating on you, it's like, oh, I was just trying something new.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's no pressure of winning or losing because, hey, man, we're just training here, me and you. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, I think all sports kind of has this. And because judo is designed, by the father, Jigoro Kano, who was called the educator,
Yeah. He
I
was
think
really
people,
big on that side of things. Yeah.
yeah, big time. Like he was a big proponent of like, hey, end Japanese isolationism, put Japan in the Olympics. He was an
Yeah.
advocate for the Olympics, global unity through sport, physical education, and sport can unite us in all
Yeah.
areas of the world. He was a big, big person outside of judo, period, who
Mhm.
spoke about education nonstop. So I think because of that, people are like, okay, cognitive thinking, higher order thinking,
Mhm.
all the philosophies in these pedagogical areas. I got a master's in teaching, right? It's
Mhm.
like scaffolding and all these different I+1 theory, like
Yeah.
Chomsky and all these guys, I'm just like
Yeah.
throw out random names. But like these guys have these ways, right? That's the most conducive to learning,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Oh,
And I think
Chomsky had a lot. I know.
he was a education guy too.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, he's a very
Yeah.
prolific guy. I mean, I know him as a linguist.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know
We,
he had a.
we studied him in second language acquisition.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have seen that sense. I
Yeah, they
see.
talk about
Yeah.
like how people learn a new language, with
Yeah.
like immersion and this, and like if it's too hard, no one will pick it up. And interests and motivation's a factor. Like if you're dating a girl from Ecuador who's Chinese Italian, actually you want to listen to her Spanish pop songs, you're gonna freaking be, you know what I mean?
Big motivator.
Big
Big
motivator. Yeah,
motivator.
yeah. Something I know a little bit about that. And
Yeah.
Spanish became my minor, even
Yeah.
though like language learning is not a thing that I was good at.
You still speak fluent Spanish,
No,
right?
no, not even
No, oh,
not fluent at all. I know how to say like random stuff. That's it.
I see. Oh, I thought you did. Okay,
No, I know
that's
like the
funny.
basics. Like when a guy walks into the dojo, you know,
And then the guy's like, hey, he
yeah,
speaks Spanish. You can converse
yeah.
with him.
If the
Okay.
judo's not free, we do charge a mad fee. This is the price. The bathroom is there. Do you need a gi? I got you. You could buy a gi or rent a gi.
Hey,
Which one you like to do?
that's all you need, really.
Yeah.
That's very practical
Have you
stuff.
done
Yeah.
judo before? Where are you from? Mucho gusto. All
Mucho good.
right, adios, man.
Nice. So yeah, so in there, I guess yeah, like it can definitely help, and then especially under stressful situations. So maybe we'll like, have you have any like stories in your life that you think this type of strategic capability you developed through judo helped?
I
Just
think
general.
so.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, right? I'm not like naturally smart kid.
Oh, why
I
are
was
you
never.
saying that?
I was always a class clown, and every teacher I've ever had growing up,
Uh,
who my mother would talk to them,
uh,
they would say things like, "Oh, Shintaro's, he's a little bit of a class clown. He's very disruptive in class." Never once was there like Shintaro's a smart kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So I never had those abilities. You know what I mean?
okay,
I was
okay,
never academic. I
yeah.
was never good at school.
You're
But
you're just not into school
I was not
so
into
much.
school.
Yeah,
That's one
yeah,
thing, right? Because all I wanted to
yeah,
do was like work out, hang out, and laugh and
yeah.
bullshit. I was all about that. But little by little, I developed an academic side,
Uh,
a little bit more of a critical thinking side. And I
mm,
think I learned that through trying to figure out how I'm getting thrown.
ah,
And the response from my father was always, it's because you're too weak, because you suck, It's because you don't have enough guts. You got to work out harder, and then it'll just take care of itself. Was like the old traditional
Right.
methodology, the negative reinforcement. You got to go to the gym. You're
Yeah.
too weak. How can you not do this many pull-ups or push-ups? Like, why are you so physically weak? Go to the gym. You suck. You know, and that forced me to like lift heavy,
Right.
right? And then I keep getting injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, there's got to be a better way to like learn, lifting. And Martin Rooney, who's one of my first strength and conditioning coaches, like, all right, we're gonna approach it in a scientific way. These are the ways we're gonna approach
Mm,
your training,
mm,
right? Aerobic, anaerobic, these types of training methodology. Where do you need to improve? Progressive overload, all these different methodologies. You know what I mean? And then I'm doing the judo too, and I'm seeing all these different coaches going to Japan and doing judo. And
mm,
now I'm asking these questions, right? And then they're
right.
being answered by some of the best guys in the world.
Mhm.
And then little by little, it starts shaping the way I try to figure out how to grapple, how to be better, how to
Mhm.
learn. You know what I mean? It wasn't, I'm telling you, man, like doing the school stuff and then sitting there, reading textbook, following the curriculum and studying for final, dude. I was so bad at that.
It just didn't suit your style. Yeah.
Yeah. Teachers would be like, well, Shintaro, he's not very bright.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, they actually said that? No way. Like, they
Not
just didn't know you well.
90% sure some teachers were like, this kid is, I was in like remedial English when I was in like 10th grade.
What English?
Remedial English class.
What's that mean?
Like a
Like,
class
you
with like
to
special kids and special.
Oh,
It was
what?
like me, and I will never forget this. It was me, Mongo, and these like other dudes like Magaletti. Like there was like 5 of us that were on the
Uh-huh.
wrestling team and the football team together. They're all on the wrestling team and the football team. We would
Uh-huh.
wear these Letterman jackets, we'd be sitting in the back, and
Uh-huh.
then the rest of the class were like special ed kids.
Ah.
Yeah, we'd just be messing around on the back the whole time, just like laughing, dying. And teacher would be like,
What?
yeah, she would just
Who would
have it.
thought that that was a good
Yeah.
idea to put you guys all in the same
And Miss
class?
Cooper would be like, Shintaro, enough, get out. And then like she would kick me out of class and I would like just roam the hallways. And I would go
Ah,
to my like friends. I know like my friend had like, science or something. I'd be tapping on
yeah.
the window, like, oh, and the
Oh my
teacher would
god.
come out and be like, Shintaro, what classes were you? You know? It was like constantly that. Yeah, and then I'll go lift and do the gym. Maybe I just wasn't interested, but like I was never really an academic and
Yeah.
critical thinking, higher thinking, academic, any of that stuff was just not part of who I was at the time.
But I think judo, it seems like judo posed a challenge that you wanted to overcome, you're motivated to overcome, and then that requires some critical thinking, and
Yeah.
strategical thinking, and strategic thinking, and then
Yeah.
that's how you developed it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a one way to learn these
No.
things.
And
It
I think
worked out
if
for
anyone wants to
you.
excel
Yeah.
at anything, whether it's
Yeah.
like ballet or judo or anything that has like a component of figuring something out, right?
Yeah.
Then I think that can definitely help you get to the next level. And like I said, judo has that element of like someone trying to take your head off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't figure it out, people are going to be smashing you every single day
Mhm.
in and day out. And little by little, you're getting better, but you're just kind of spinning your wheels, right?
Yeah.
Just buying yourself time until you
Mhm.
find someone that's going to, beat the piss out of you even harder.
Mhm.
So there was a big motivator there. And I think it really helped me like trying to get better at judo, trying to learn how to be a better grappler, wrestling, judo, wrestling,
Yeah.
or jiu-jitsu. Like that really did help me eventually. And then I
And
was able
right
to kind of transition
yeah.
that, you know what I mean?
And
Being
right now
interested
you
in something, that's what
y
judo taught me first, foremost,
yeah.
like loving it, being interested in it, immersed in it, and then taking a non-frustrated approach where I'm like
Yeah. Keep it
disassociating my
cool. Yeah.
emotions, because I used to get emotional.
Mm.
I used to hate watching matches that I lost. My dad would be like, sit down and watch this match.
Oh,
But you
man.
lost because you're weak and you suck. You need to sit down and watch this and figure it out. Right. But I couldn't
Yeah.
stomach sitting there and watching myself get
Yeah.
bombed with my dad tripping on the side. Like, you see, if you could bench a little bit more, you could have pushed him away. You're so physically
Oh,
weak. Right.
yeah. I see.
Yeah. But now I'm much more able to dissociate that. Right. And then look at it from an objective thing. Like I was working on something at jiu-jitsu, someone passed my guard and I sat in the bottom the whole time. Of course, it sucks and it's embarrassing because that guy is a lot smaller than I am. But I was working on something
Yeah.
and then I could look back and be like, all right, how the hell did that guy, how did I not see that coming? What could I have done differently? Without getting all like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling bad about myself. I don't feel bad about myself at all. I was trying something new. I feel
Yeah.
good about myself that I was doing that, putting myself there. You know what I mean? Better him than like a 230
Mhm.
pound guy that, that might
Right.
be
Otherwise,
in
you
competition or
wouldn't you might
something.
have gotten hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, like inversion stuff, I don't want to, I want to make my mistakes on smaller people. So when I go with a bigger guy, and if I invert the wrong way, they sprawl on me, I blow up my back, you know?
Yeah, I see.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that's a good way to approach it. Like when people ask me,
Nah.
not that often, but can you believe some people ask me how to develop their own games in judo and BJJ?
I'm
But
sure you can, dude.
yeah,
I'm sure you can do it.
so I that's the way, like exactly how you described it. Like I
Yeah.
think instead of trying to like, oh, I need to learn this and I'm gonna try, I don't know, Gordon Ryan's like all this game and system, whatever. I think that's the wrong way to approach it. It's more,
I think
it
so.
should be that
Yeah.
you learn the fundamentals of course, and you try things out and then you identify problems. Like you're saying, oh, hey, I'm trying to invert, but it doesn't work. Then you figure out why is it not working? What can you do? And then it's almost like growing the game instead of like
Yes.
building it,
Yeah.
like in a structure way.
I think
It
it's
has to
easier
be
in
more
jiu-jitsu,
organic.
like you said, because
Yeah.
you put your hand here, why can't I, right? But in
Hmm.
judo, it happens so fast, you can't even recall why you got thrown.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe your weight was back on your heel. Maybe your hand wasn't pulling enough. Maybe, the guy knew
Hmm.
it was coming. Who knows? And there's just too many different factors, too fast to remember it, you know?
Do you think there's a way to frame judo in like closer to how BJJ is?
I think so. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
talking like right versus right, losing position, winning position,
Mm.
things like this, setting it up, contextual judo, like, hey, I went for Uchimata twice. He thinks Uchimata's coming, so he's sidestepping and I attack Tayo. That's how I got caught with Tayo,
Mm.
because I was anticipating a Uchimata. Like, now that makes so much sense.
Mm.
As
Yeah.
opposed to I got caught with Tayo. How did I get caught with Tayo? Can you teach me how to stop Tayo?
Uh,
I mean, like,
you don't like
yes
those
and no.
messages.
No, it's like, can you show me how to, I keep getting thrown with Tayo. What do I do? It's like, there's so much more to that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just asking that question, you haven't figured it out.
Right.
You don't see the big picture. So my advice to everyone who's listening is you want to develop your own critical thinking abilities to plan and make a judo that works for you.
Yeah.
Understand why people do what they do, borrow from them, and synthesize your own methods. Question everybody. Just
Yeah.
because it's taught by a sensei doesn't mean it's the right way.
Hmm.
And I think once you have that, approach, then you could get good at that way of thinking. And now you could kind of build on that. And then eventually you could be a Nobel Prize winner.
That's right. And you guys better give us a shout out when you give the speech.
Yeah. I love this one, man. It's like I had a ballet teacher who was like, ballet people are the smartest in the world because they have to memorize really, really complex choreography for whatever it is. The smartest people in the world. I don't know about that. There's some physicists that are pretty smart. Once you're able to do ballet because of the fundamental movement, you're the best athlete in the world.
I remember you were very frustrated about that comment. I
Some
remember you
ballet
telling me this.
dancers are the fastest people in the world in terms of running. I was like, what about track and field people? You really think a ballet dancer running with their hands behind, like on their tippy toes, can outrun Usain Bolt and the likes of a track and field superstar? And he was like, I'm sure he'll give him a good run for his money. What the are you talking about? I was like, what? That's just delusional. That's like everyone, it's like nationalism. You know what I mean? My country's the best because, first of all, you had nothing to do with being born the race that you were born. It had nothing to do with that, right? Like my grappling sport's the best, my whatever it is the best. It's like, that's all you know, though. How do you know that? You've never done all these other things,
That's a good point. It's don't
we
be
all just
close-minded
like
of it.
make fun of Taekwondo and Aikido by default as a grappler, you know what I mean? And that's okay. That's okay because it's just kind of the culture of it, And
Just
it's
a
all in
joke.
good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun, but.
I'm sure they make fun of us too.
Oh, 1000%, dude.
We're just like bunch of, we just hug each other all the time or something. Yeah.
It's so funny because in Japan, Kendo and Judo are always like making fun of each other,
Oh, really?
They're
I
like,
didn't know
judo
there was a
guys,
rivalry
judo gi stink. They always say that. Judo guys stink. And then judo guys are like, yo, you don't even know how bad the Kendo headgear.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you can't wash it.
I know. It's like
Can't wash
the ice hockey gears that they
so
would
it
stink.
Stinks. So it's like judo guys are saying, Kendo guys stink. And Kendo guys are saying judo guys stink. And then judo guys are saying Kendo guys get no girls because they stink. And then Kendo guys are saying judo guys get no girls because we stink. It's like that.
It's
And,
so pointless.
newsflash, like, we all stink.
Sick. That's actually, that's a good point. We're all doing martial arts that no one really knows.
Yeah, and sometimes you just forget your gi in your bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, it's not the gi that stinks sometimes too. It's like then you pull out the gi, put your new gi in there, and it's not your sweat sometimes, it's someone else's sweat.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
someone that was wearing a funky rash guard and has the microbes in there,
That gets transferred.
transferred onto your
Yeah.
gi,
Yeah.
that gets transferred onto your gi bag.
Mm.
Then now you put your new gi bag in there, and it just retains that funk. It just
Yeah.
seeps in. It just never goes away.
Well,
You know,
basically, guys, before trying to be strategic, wash your geese and wash yourselves.
yeah. Man, I feel like we really digressed in this one. Us.
No, we stayed on point until the last one. We're just like
Did we
joking
answer the
around.
question?
I think
How can
so.
judo help with strategical
Yeah,
thinking?
we'll ask Drew about it. He does he still come around?
Yeah, he comes
Time
around.
time? Yeah, we'll ask
We'll
him.
personally send him the podcast and be like, "Hey, man, this
Yeah,
one's
what'd
for
you
you.
think? Yeah,
Love Drew. He's a very smart guy.
very
Very
smart.
sharp.
Yeah,
He's a lifelong learner too, man. He learns. He plays the mandolin. He was in
uh,
tech forever. He started his own tech company,
right.
right? And he's sponsoring us too, right? He sponsored us in the past.
I have to check. Well, he's if not materially, he's always sponsored us
Always
with
supports us.
friendship. Yeah,
Yes, for sure. Drew's the best. So
yeah,
thank you for listening, Drew. Thank you for your friendship.
yeah.
And hope judo played a major successful role in your life.
I know.
That helped you critical thinking skills.
Hopefully, his
Uh,
business idea came about after doing
I
some
think it's going
judo.
well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So,
All right, well, that's about it,
yeah.
and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yep. Thank you guys.